Ukrainians. Zelensky positioned them as gods descended from heaven. And they believed it, didn't they? In European countries and the USA, they decided that they could do anything. Is it so? And how long will you have enough patience? Citizens, European countries and America. That's what Alexei Aristovich, a former advisor to the office of the President of Ukraine, said in March 2022.
Come on, you know me. I think there are still many upheavals ahead, because I see global civilizational shifts will begin. The entire security framework of the system of international relations will change in Europe, and therefore all over the world. I guarantee you that what we get at the end of a short historical period will completely turn the situation in Europe in a more positive direction for Ukraine. And Ukraine, in general, is in a very specific situation. Firstly, we are an outpost of the West. The Europeans, shocked, admitted this on the second day of the company, when nothing was clearly said yet. This is the old Europe, which we have already forgotten somewhere, lost somewhere, and this is the embodiment of our values. Immediately. Of course, Ukraine was immediately recognized as a member of the world community, or rather the European one. Remember how much there was a conversation before that Ukraine is not really Ukraine. In general, I now meet Ukrainians like gods who have descended from heaven in very many countries. So I get calls all the time from people who went to Poland to Romania. They just say, well, I don't know now, but in the beginning it was impossible to pay. They paid the children, gave them toys, and applauded when they went to restaurants. But I know that in Poland I know for sure that transport is free for Ukrainians, as if it were international even then. How would you like that? But we need to understand that Ukrainians. Have you and I chosen a brand now anywhere in the world where you appear? Are you talking about Ukraine? You're really going to be applauded, that's why we snatched it from this one, but there's also one more point. If Latinina wrote yesterday that all this is the last war of Kievan Rus with the Horde, and all the most valuable, bright and sensible things, including those from Russia, will now be gathered in Kiev, and there will be a huge number of requests, ranging from cultural figures to serious businessmen. So it turns out that we have changed the anthropological flows towards the ancient capital of Russia. Is that what happened? Is this really happening? This is physically felt. This is not Alexei Alestovich's reasoning about Russia, Ukraine. Remember we talked with you, but at the level of applications submitted for Ukrainian citizenship, the counterflows have actually changed completely in our favor. And here we have a chance to build not just a new Ukraine. Setting a new trend for a new civilization is a way out for both Europe and the post-Soviet space. And right now it is being organized at the level of practical steps.
I wonder how much it cost the London Road Services to remove the consequences of the Ukrainians' actions. Near the Russian embassy in London. For example, a rally. Ukrainians for the impeachment of Donald Trump. What about those Ukrainians who talk at rallies about the continuation of the war? About the problems of mobilization, that mobilization needs to be tightened in Ukraine, but they themselves want to stay in Europe and are not going to fight.
Why did you come to the rally today? So that all Ukrainians can begin to show that we exist, to show that we have a war. Do you think we should go to the border of 91 and 14, or leave it as it is? Yes, well, it goes without saying that every Ukrainian says that before 91, but, well, I don't know now. I believe that everything will be very good at least until 2014. Do you think there is a problem with mobilization in Ukraine now? But what about it? There is now. Everything is shown on the internet. Would you take part in this war? Well, how? When? Would you participate in the future? Are you ready to take part in the war? Yes. Well, I think I can put more here and there than at the front, for example. Because, for example, I'm not working anywhere right now, but I'm doing what I can. For example, I went to do some magic with the boxes this year. For 3 years in a row we have been going to do magic, we collect them there, we throw them at the army. It's more useful this way. I think so.
This guy is safe in Europe. In Ukraine itself, the borders are closed to men, and men are caught on the streets. And they are forcibly sent to war. Many of them are even afraid to leave the house. Maybe these people would also like to be in Europe or America now. What do you think about such a democracy in Ukraine? And freedom? Share your thoughts in the comments. Czech residents are dissatisfied with the rallies of Ukrainians. They are rudely told to go home to Ukraine and organize rallies there. Subscribe to the channel. Please like and write comments. And see you soon.